When you hear the word mythology, you probably think of ancient Greece, the Egyptian pantheon, or tales of Norse gods. And sure, these are the most popular, at least in the West, but today, let's turn our attention to Greek mythology. When you actually read Greek myths, something stands out. While the ancient Greeks had their own rich pantheon, the real focus isn't the gods at all, it's the mortals, the heroes, the doomed kings, the clever tricksters, the people caught between fate and free will. And that right there is what makes Greek mythology truly different. Take Heracles. Yes, he's the son of Zeus, but his story is all about pain, penance, and perseverance. He murders his own family in a fit of divine madness, and as a consequence, has to atone through impossible labors. Odysseus is another example, a mortal facing endless hardship. His journey is about wit and endurance rather than divine power. Achilles, for all his prowess, is defined more by his anger, pride, and inevitable mortality than by his godlike skill. These aren't just grand adventures, they're deeply human stories. Stories about choices, flaws, suffering, and what it means to struggle. When we look at Norse mythology, Thor and Odin are the main characters. The drama of Ragnarok, the shaping of the world, these are the tales of gods, their rise, their fall, their wars. Mortals barely get a footnote. Egyptian myth is much the same. Gods like Ra, Osiris, Isis, and Set represent cosmic forces, creation, death, order, chaos. Their myths are about maintaining Maat, the universal balance. Humans simply exist on the periphery. But in Greek myth, the gods are more like catalysts or spectators. Powerful, yes, but often petty, flawed, and distant. It's the mortals who drive the story. It's the human condition that takes center stage. And this isn't an accident. It reflects something deeper about the Greek worldview. Greek culture, especially during and after the classical period, was deeply invested in understanding the human experience. Thinkers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle weren't writing about gods. They were wrestling with ethics, reason, virtue, purpose. They were interested in how people live, why they make choices, and what it means to live a good life. Even before them, the mythology shows this impulse. They're case studies rather than fairy tales. What happens when pride leads a man to challenge the gods? What happens when a warrior lets rage consume him? Or when love blinds judgment? These divine parables serve as reflections of human nature. And because of this, the gods take a back seat. Rather than being the center of Greek mythology, they're the context. They represent the chaos of the world, the unknowable forces we can't control. But the heart of the myth lies in how mortals respond to those forces. Zeus might send a storm, but the story is about how a man survives it. Athena may grant wisdom, but the tale belongs to the one who uses it, or ignores it. While the Greeks were trying to understand how the universe was made, they were also trying to understand how to live inside of it. And I believe this is why Greek mythology still resonates today. It may seem like just a collection of old stories about gods and monsters, but it's also a mirror of the human condition. We may not battle hydras or challenge fate with swords, but the core struggles, they haven't changed. People in ancient Greece wrestled with fear, with purpose, with grief. They asked why bad things happen, and why we're here, and what it means to live well. They felt heartbreak. They made mistakes they couldn't undo. And just like us, they wondered constantly if they were enough. We tend to think of depression, anxiety, and existential doubt as modern problems, but they're not. Ancient myths are full of characters, mortal ones, facing those same emotions. Sisyphus pushing his boulder forever, Orestes haunted by guilt, Ajax lost in shame. These aren't just tales, they're echoes of very real pain. And what makes Greek mythology so timeless is that it doesn't try to hide those struggles, it honors them. It puts them center stage and says, yes, life is hard, people fail, but there's meaning in the struggle. So if you're going through something, if you're lost or stuck or simply unsure, you're not alone. And you're definitely not the first. The truth is you're part of a very old story, and the people in those stories, they fought through it. Not always cleanly, not always heroically, but they kept going. Maybe that's the real heart of Greek mythology, not the gods or the monsters, but us, flawed, fragile, and still choosing to move forward. While making this video, I've been dealing with a lot of stress from life and work. It's led to prolonged episodes of fatigue and apathy. Nothing permanent, but definitely something I've had to push through. And honestly, I relate a lot to Sisyphus, just rolling that boulder uphill. This mindset is what pushed me to think more philosophically about mythology, and reading Greek myths again really helped me connect the dots. Lately, I've felt a growing weight around the historical videos I've been making, not because I don't love the topics, but because I do. And the deeper I go, the more I worry about getting things wrong. When you're a solo creator with a toddler, a full plate, and a brain that's already doing mental gymnastics on the daily, that pressure starts to drain the joy out of it. I know I could do more research, fact check more, become some kind of part-time scholar in my off hours, but that's just not the season of life I'm in. I want to keep making videos I enjoy, that you enjoy, and that don't leave me spiraling over a footnote. So I'm shifting gears. Feudal Facts is going to lean even more into its name. We're going from mythology and historical epics to oddball stuff, like why do we cut grass the way we do? Who invented the modern lawnmower? What even is a spork, and why did we let that happen? The world is full of strange, overlooked stories that don't require an archaeological citation, and that's where we're headed. If you've been here for the myths and legends, thank you, sincerely. And don't you worry, we're going to continue to cover mythological topics in future videos. If you're staying for the trivia rabbit holes and cozy chaos, then buckle in. And if you're just here for the sound of my voice while you fold laundry, well, I see you, and I appreciate you. Let's keep the facts feudal and the fun rolling. And thanks again. I hope this shorter, thought-filled episode felt like a welcome moment of reflection. If you haven't already, please consider liking, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps the channel. And if you want to support me directly, consider becoming a member. Speaking of, I'd like to give a special shout out to Homomania and Dagunite, my two current members. You guys are awesome. Take care, and I'll catch you all in the next one.